Hi, it's the evening of December the 3rd. We're 34 days into Ozark Mountain Christmas, and we're going to check the explorebranson.com site to see what's up in the way of Christmas shows today, see if there's been any changes to the site. So we'll notice that we do open to the Silver Dollar City Parade photo where we're offered the opportunity to explore Christmas, which we're going to do. And it takes us right to the 5 Ozark Mountain Christmas must-dos page. This photo hasn't been opening in either a Safari or a Chrome browser on either of three computers that I use. We'll look at the 5 must-dos, which include Ozark Mountain Christmas, Old Time Christmas at Silver Dollar City with a nice description and beautiful photos. And then we'll go back to that 5 must-dos, and we'll notice that Silver Dollar City actually has two listings. They have one for the Christmas season and one for the whole year. So they get nice coverage there. Now in the 5 must-dos with Old Time Christmas and Silver Dollar City being first, Second Christmas Lights Tours, which has a description but no photo. Most publications won't take a story with no photo. This page does not exist and hasn't existed since the beginning of this page. And the Shepherd of the Hills Trail of Lights has no information and no photo. The Dixie Stamp, different page. We're at the Christmas Parades. Christmas Parades, of course, is a must-do, but it's already passed. This was actually posted, this page, on November 12th for the first time. It may have been created earlier than that, but we have screen prints that show it wasn't available until that date. And number 3 was Christmas Parades. Number 4 is Christmas Shows, of which there's no link, no place to be able to find more information than what's here. And what's here begins with a sentence that says, for many years, Branson shows create productions to showcase the cheer and goodwill of the Christmas season. It's a typo that's been there since the beginning of the program where this page was first put up. It was actually used in a number of different ways on this site. So we're going to go back to that page. We're going to see that there's nothing in the way of Christmas shows linkage. So where would you go for Christmas shows? Let's pretend that photo was there. Forget about that fault. What that photo is a posed Dixie Stampede Christmas photo. We'll go down here. We've got New Year's opportunity, but we're looking for Christmas shows, and that looks like a Christmas show to me, so we'll go there. Immersed in the Christmas story at Sight and Sound. All right. So when the opportunity, we're talking about going to Sight and Sound, this beautiful show, God sending his son to earth, all about the miracle of Christmas. Can't wait to see it again. Well, that show didn't run in 2015 and it's not scheduled to run in 2016. So why is that the first Christmas show that I can find any coverage on? Because there's none here, and there's none here, and there's none here, and there's none here. So the first place I'm directed to this evening is to a show that's not running now. Now the options are to go to the lights, but I've already been to lights pages and seen that they don't have any information in them, or barely. I could go to New Year's, but I want to go now to a Christmas show, so that's certainly not where I would look in a New Year's show. I don't know, I guess I'd go up to Things to Do. Okay, Things to Do, live shows. There you go, live shows during Ozark Mountain Christmas. It's the Beatles in their hippie era with the mustache and the sunrose-colored glasses and the psychedelic art. Doesn't look like Christmas to me, but here's an opportunity for shows this week. And hey, if it's Ozark Mountain Christmas, then surely I should find some shows Christmas. I don't, nor do I find it here. So what am I supposed to do? Okay. Now, if I was clever enough to look over here under show listings, I would find that this was a divide show by type, and Christmas is there. This was missing for the first 3 weeks of the Christmas season here. But it appeared 2 days ago, and we click on Christmas, and today we get 3 opportunities to see a Christmas show. 6, however, you'll notice that this is the April 2 2014, that's last year, right? Until December 19th. So it's not specific to this time, and it's not about Christmas. And IO's not about Christmas. That's their full year listing. And Buck Trent's since 1913. What's this listing even mean? He's been here 20 years. So does this mean that this music show, ran from then until then? It's on a 3-year run, or I don't know. It's useless information. We can prove to you that it doesn't talk about Christmas. Probably has the word Christmas in it, and that's how it ended up appearing here, because they describe everything they do during the course of the year. Now, this one doesn't even have the word Christmas in here. How did they sort to find? And it's not a Christmas photo. So as our Mountain Christmas time, folks, there's bunches of shows that have Christmas in them, and these listings don't have it. So we went to live shows. We went to shows this week. Maybe some attractions and museums are dressed up for the Ozark Mountain Christmas. How shocking is it to find that? What could a person do to find Christmas show information when they can't even find Christmas in most of the sections? Outdoor activities. Beautiful outdoor activities right now. You can go out on the zip lines. You can zip across the lake, and here we are on our, what do they call it, whatever kind of board that is, and obviously the middle of the summer, and it's Ozark Mountain Christmas. We wanted to go down there now to find out about Ozark Mountain Christmas, and they're selling me lakes next summer and go-karts next summer, and a show that's not about Christmas in the shows this week feature, and Christmas shows that aren't here. What do I do with this information? Now, what we're finding is nothing. And even worse, under deals, under live show deals. I now get the opportunity to save money on my 4-show ticket for only $99. The theater ticket rate is about $35 to $40 for most of the better shows, and people are happy to pay it walking up to the window. But somehow this whole timeshare industry has taken over the town in some ways and drives this low pricing for shows, devaluing the show tickets down to around $25. Is there any disclosure here that this is a time? Let's see. Current deals show consists of blah, blah, blah. Still have questions, give us a call. Happy to assist you. Designed to get incredible seats and save money. There's a reserve, best valuable. No, we have many shows to choose from, and never know who will be the next Branson sensation to be added to the list. Right now, it's packed full of talent. Now it's fine. Are they talking about having to take a timeshare tour here? They aren't. Okay. So that's what's under deals. Lodging. Trip planning, you can get a map, you can get a newsletter, and you get a guide. That's all well and good. It's got its own stories connected to it. Let's quickly go to the blog, and we're going to find things to do with kids at Christmas. Hey, maybe taking them to a show would be something. There's a Christmas show page. Awesome Christmas shows. Let's link to it. Christmas shows. Andy Williams Christmas shows starring the Osmonds and the Lennon sisters. But the truth of the matter is that these photos didn't get posted until November 20th, and only as the work of Branson Update Magazine providing and forcing the issue that those get onto the site, because it was an empty hole until that date. Here's a photo of the Christmas on the Trail dinner show. There's only the one photo, but it is a Christmas description. Just remember now, this is a description of Branson Christmas shows. So far there, you got 1, you got 2. We're going to go to Dixie Stampede Christmas show. But that's not a Christmas show. That's a regular season photo, and so is that. And this description is not of Christmas. And here we're going to go to Silver Dollar City as a Branson Christmas show. But the Silver Dollar City regular season listing is up on the page of the Branson Christmas shows. After 4 letters describing that the site is so full of problems, and the director of marketing of the Convention and Visitors Bureau of Branson, in charge of the marketing and spending of all of the tax money that we get, All the ads from television and radio and print are all directed to explorebranson.com. It's the middle of Ozark Mountain Christmas. People have paid a fortune to dress these stages and put on people in costumes and music and choreography and dancing and comedy. And it's wild. It's beautiful experience and people love it. And we can't find it on the official Branson site. Not only can we not find it here, we can't find it on the e-newsletter blast that was sent out to every person who's given their email address to the Branson CVB or Chamber for forever. And not only this year, it didn't have any Christmas show imagery or descriptions in the thing sent out, the e-newsletter blast for the holidays from the CVB. It not only didn't have any Christmas show information, description, or photos for 2 years in a row, but it had a link, one of only 3 links to Memorial Day shopping. I couldn't make this stuff up. 4 letters to the people in charge of this describing the inadequacies of the site. And all I get back are these letters that dance around the problem from one extreme to the next. And we're going to have those letters up, and it's just going to make you crazy what's happened. Somebody stole Ozark Mountain Christmas. I tried to save it, but everybody told me that if I stuck my nose into this situation, it would probably be chopped off, because telling the truth to power can hurt you. But somebody's got to do it, because look, half of this page is Silver Dollar City under Branson Christmas shows. They have a show out there, but Branson Christmas shows encompass a whole other thing than is as described here, particularly by no Christmas imagery at all when they've got a beautiful Christmas show. How could these people be so asleep to not have all their Christmas imagery up there? Okay, it's an okay show, but it's in a theater it's a great experience, don't get me wrong by this, but it has no stage wings, no incredible lighting, no special effects. And it's not it has a little bit of variety. They have a little comedy in it, but it is not a full-blown Branson Christmas show by any stretch of the imagination. This is, and there were no photographs at all on the site until November the 20th, and those only as a result of a local magazine publisher in beyond frustration, having a good friend of his taking the risk of running that theater, who didn't know that he was the #1 lead story but didn't have a single photo up on the site until November the 20th, after notifying the people in charge of this for the first time on November 10th. Nothing got done. Nothing got changed, other than 2 days after the second letter was sent, suddenly some Christmas popped up on it, but it had absolutely no leads to anything, because look at this. For a complete list of Branson Christmas shows, click here. It's a wonderful time of year. Live shows. Where are we going to go in the live shows? It's Christmas week. Oh, we're going to the Beatles! Long hair, hippie mustache, rose-colored glasses, psychedelic art. And no Christmas shows down here, and no link for most of the period, and now a link that doesn't go to shows that are even Christmas shows and goes from 3 to 6 magically, responses, and none of these being the Christmas show listings of shows. They just happen to be shows that run during that period of time. And this is allowed to exist because this is what? Why? Every day this photo has been the photos for this site. From here, from St. Louis, from Kansas City, and from Overland Park, as I went to all those places. I have video of me opening computer screens that have never been opened before to explorebranson.com, and the photography that comes up is golf and swimming on a dock that I don't even know where it exists in Branson. And it's certainly not available to the general public to have that experience. And if it is, it's hiding from me, because Table Rock Lake's a pretty rough shoreline, and there's not that many places that have nice docks on it. At least least relative to the number of people that the town needs to survive. So what do you do? I mean, it gets even worse, because if you go to the blog and you go to the top, that we did this when suddenly this, okay, there's Christmas shopping, but shows is the heart of Branson. It's not here. And now we're going to go to the outdoors, and we're going to go to the next page, and we're going to find no Christmas information. And we're going to go to the next page, and we're not going to find any Christmas information other than the shopping. Okay, where to find Santa? Let's go find Santa. Where are we going to find Santa? I bet you we find him in Silver Dollar City. Sure enough, as well as the Branson Landing and other people who pay to have their thing. And we're going to go to Silver Dollar City here. We're going to click it, and it doesn't go to the Christmas site. It goes to regular shows. But you can go to free concerts. Don't worry about going to those theaters. Don't worry about the theater revenue going down, because we're offering free concerts at the Branson Landing. Or we're advertising on the official site that you can get these tickets for as low as $25 a piece. Now, these people, they've got families to feed. They've got to be able to generate revenue, and the prices of the product are being artificially driven down and devalued to be able to be a timeshare Venus flytrap to capture tourists and stick them into a vacation plan, which some of them will love, but the newspapers are filled with people who've had to be defaulted on, page after page after page of them. Think I'm on a soapbox tonight? I think so. Why? It's snowing. Look at that picture. It's snowing. Think about going into the mountains in the snow with your family. You want to go drive on icy roads in the hills? Heck no. What's that photo doing on a Branson site? Okay, we're going to celebrate the life of Mr. Christmas. It's a wonderful thing, but do they do it even with any photography of his show? I mean, here's the guy's spin, and we've got text only and ads. This is as undesirable as a present, a tribute celebrating Mr. Christmas, and not a single photo of the man nor the show. But we can go see the one most wonderful time of year, which is a page that doesn't exist. It's taken us to the back end of the system where you can see all the different things. And interesting enough, how many times are we going to find an old-time Christmas from Silver Dollar City listed? I mean, it's just continuous. That old-time Christmas, it's continuous. So we can't find Ozark Mountain Christmas shows. And when we do, we're limited to a few couple. We're offered cheap prices. And that's it. There's a parade. There's accommodations. Where are the shows? What is going on? I don't know. Do I continue? I've been through the deals. I've been through the dining. I've been through the lodging. I went through. I haven't done family fun tonight. Here, let's do family fun. There we go. That's Ozark Mountain Christmas. Let's sell to this family who can only come here about 110 days a year. We need employment 365 days. And there's nothing about Ozark Mountain Christmas here. And this is being done by people who are not being held accountable, because the people who understand this, if they stand up and say it, their business will have negative effects drawn upon it, because there will be people in the room who own businesses that somehow influence that person's business, and they'll want to not recommend them anymore because they're standing up trying to, let's say, have less money spent on go-karts being marketed more than 300 miles away, when people would have to, drive an awful long way for a go-kart and pass a lot of them along the way, as well as roller coasters. How many roller coasters do you have to pass if you're coming from 500 miles away? St. Louis has a roller coaster park. You want to do roller coasters? It's an hour away. Boom, there. Kansas City got roller coaster park. Boom, hour away. So what if we got this different and unique and wonderful, and only Branson has? We have these theater experiences that are the most unbelievably joyous events. And for some reason, all of the advertising in the community is all being driven down into a place that doesn't feature the Christmas shows. Now, I apologize for my tone of voice, perhaps being a little bit excited this evening, but it's December the 3rd, and I got my 4th letter of obfuscation from the director of marketing explaining to me that basically my concern about this whole situation isn't valid because of some super duper computer wisdom that I don't understand, or it's going to be better next year. Well, this happened last year, and I've got the documentation that says that it did. And it happened this year despite efforts to stop it from happening. Michael London, Branson Update Magazine, a concerned citizen of Branson who wants to find out why we're dead linked when we go to see some Olsen Christmas shows, because we've got two that have photos and descriptions, one that doesn't, and we're swept off to Silver Dollar City to an all-season site, or to a list, offered a complete list of Christmas shows, which we don't get to, because when we visit shows, we end up at the Beatles and no Christmas shows. And then when we, now I know I'm repeating myself, right? But this is past the point of understandability. This is at the point of insanity. It's making me insane. Because I love this town. And I want to see it prosper in the future. And if it becomes a place that we advertise as a place for golf and swimming and Silver Dollar City, without our core product shows having front and center or at least equal billing, which obviously it does not have, then we put go-karts and swimming up in front of Christmas shows at Christmas time, what kind of a community are we going to end up being? Well, it seems to me we're going to be a seasonal place for families and kids, and we're just going to go back to what it was before, because the business that comes here in the fall and the winter can't be kids, because they aren't able to come here from any distance because of school, which is a fixed item. It's not a whether you do it or not. And because of money, because their families don't have a lot of money to be able to spend disposably. That's where the word comes from, disposable income. But another group of people do, and those are the people who used to come here in droves in the fall and the spring. And the fall business, the spring business has been dying off for theater shows now for a decade. And the idea was we were going to wait until the tax passed to be able to address that problem. And it's been haphazardly addressed. And now fall's beginning to fall off for music shows. Theater revenue is the only segment of the market that's down for this period. And the reason why, given in the marketing meetings by the official marketing group, is that, well, they give away their tickets. So their prices have got to go down. So the tax has got to go down. And why do they give away their tickets? Because the place that they send their tax money to drives all of the ads from its tagline, go to explorebranson.com, into a website that sells what it sells, and it certainly doesn't sell Christmas shows. And the people in charge of it have done nothing towards fixing it, despite a member of the community who's identified as being passionately committed to the town for 22 plus years is telling them they've got a problem. And the response basically is that the guy's got a problem, because it's obvious that this problem doesn't exist, when obviously it does. And so I find myself in this weird place. And I need help because I need that paradigm shift that says either I shift and I learn information that makes me totally get it and understand, or the community has to have a paradigm shift to be able to realize that it's headed in this direction and it's being run by people who are unaccountable because people can't stand up for fear of losing the revenue as a result of doing so. Go ask some previous Board of Trustees members who've spoken out against the general will of the direction that certain groups of people want to take it. And you end up with only one side of the story being heard, the one that each of the ones at the top want to tell to each other, and prove that that's okay thing to do by research, but inadequate research, and obviously by presumably biased, if only for and unintentionally. What's a person to do with information like this? People can't stand up against the group because they're afraid of losing business, and yet it's not in the best interest of the community, because if we go back to a seasonal business, we're going to have a ton of part-time temporary employees, which puts stress in the city by having these people who do drug deals in the open, and they're here because they can get a job, because there's more jobs than people need, and the good people can't stay here because there is no revenue in the off times of the year. We need everyone. We cannot go after only in families and kids, and we cannot go after in families and kids because we could only represent some amount of new growth at the expense of the existing market. And that's all we've got to say tonight. It was a long rave, but I want to ask you this question. What in the world is this photograph doing as the live shows page of the Branson's official website at the time of Ozark Mountain Christmas? If you can explain that to me, then I'm going to begin to have a paradigm shift. But if you can't, then you got to listen to me and say, hey, maybe he's got something that needs to be addressed. Thanks. It's Michael London at Branson Update Magazine. It's December the 3rd. We're 34 days into Ozark Mountain Christmas. We've got a number of shows that close within the next week, probably half of them. We still have a dozen or more, and if there was some kind of immediate push to use our website to jump up out there and get people to come down and see shows in this last couple of weeks, and that's what the Chamber of Commerce decided, or the director of the TCED decided to do with this information, is to make sure that that happened, rather than allow it to occur that the entire season of Ozark Mountain Christmas marketing just disappeared.